I'm falling behind the pack lately with its dated architecture, technology, and design. The only things really going for it were its classic Honda traits of having good resale value and reliability, as well as having decent rugged looks, as well as a very functional interior. However, for the 2016 model year, Honda looks to keep the new Pilot at the top of the class with this third generation model, and overall you will find that this is certainly one of the best well-rounded three-row crossovers. So let's go ahead and check out this 2016 Honda Pilot EX. Now, styling on the new Pilot is very similar to what you will find on the Honda CR-V, especially from the front end. On this EX trim here, we do get LED daytime running lights, as well as these fairly good-looking 18-inch alloy wheels. Overall, the styling of the vehicle is fairly handsome and pretty conservative. Now here goes the key fob design for the new Pilot. As you can see, it's your typical Honda Smart Key. Fairly stylish overall. You have your remote keyless entry, your lock, unlock, and then to release your power tailgate, and then your panic button too. Now it is the black forest pearl exterior color with Smart Key access on the driver's door as well as the front passenger door. You also do have a beige cloth interior. If you do want to get leather on the Pilot, you do have to step up to the EXL trim, which the L part stands for leather. You have your power driver's seat with power recline and a power lumbar too. Now stepping on inside of the new Pilot here, as you can see, it's a fairly stylish cabin. Looks very similar to what you will find in many other Hondas, of course, especially the steering wheel design. But overall, definitely a big upgrade from the last generation Pilot. Now what's also pretty neat is that this is the first Honda to have push button ignition standard. Just put your foot on the brake and hit the button to start. And what you're hearing there is a 3.5 liter V6. Coming to your transmission, you have a 6-speed automatic with lower gear selection. Now, if you do want the optional 9-speed automatic transmission, you will have to step up to higher end trim levels. Putting the vehicle into reverse displays your standard rear view camera with guidance lines and trajectory too, which is pretty neat. You can also change the different views of the rear view camera. You have your normal view, and then a wide angled view, and then a top down view too. Pretty cool. The image quality is decent too. And I'm going to go ahead and turn on the lights and the hazards too. Driver's window and the front passenger window are fully automatic. And let's go ahead and pop up the hood, check out the engine bay. Heated exterior mirrors. Like I said, you do have these 18-inch alloy wheels that you get on this EX trim here. Halogen projector beam headlights with LED daytime running lights. LED headlights are also an option on higher end trim levels. You also do have your halogen fog lights too. Fairly aggressive looking. Not the most aggressive looking one in the segment, but looks pretty good. Under the hood here we have Honda's 3.5 liter V6 producing 280 horsepower at 6,000 RPM and 262 pound-feet of torque at 4,700 RPM, with EPA estimates being a pretty fuel efficient 19 in the city and 27 on the highway. That's pretty fuel efficient for the class. Now all-wheel drive is optional of course, and it does run on regular unleaded fuel. Now my only gripe is that the Pilot doesn't have a more powerful optional powertrain. You can find more powerful powertrains in the Ford Explorer or even the Dodge Durango too. But this powertrain certainly provides ample amounts of power for your daily commute. There's really no need for more power here. And the 6-speed automatic transmission does shift pretty seamlessly too. Now, trims of the Pilot, I'm going to go over the basic trims and ignore the Honda Sensing package as well as the rear seat entertainment packages. I'm just going to go over the basic trims. Now, it starts at the LX trim, which starts at $29,995, just a little under 30 grand, and it comes with a host of features such as a multi-angle rear view camera, Bluetooth phone capability, air conditioning, as well as halogen projector beam headlights, and like I said, this is the first Honda to ever have push button start standard. Then the EX trim starts at $32,430. The EXL starts at $35,905. EXL with nav starts at $36,905. And then the Elite with navigation and rear seat entertainment starts at around $48,000. This is the most expensive Pilot to ever be introduced as well. Now, competitors of the new Pilot, you have the vehicles in the 3-row crossover SUV class, and this is a booming segment nowadays. This includes the likes of the Ford Explorer, Chevrolet Traverse, Dodge Durango, as well as the Nissan Pathfinder and Toyota Highlander and the GMC Acadia. Like I said, EPA estimates are 19 city, 27 highway. Total vehicle price is $33,310. Coming to the rear, we have LED taillights, which comes standard on the EX trim. Rear window wiper with the rear window defroster as well, and rear reflectors. Pretty sexy rear styling with the taillight designs. Of course, all of your basic power necessities, power windows, door locks, and your power mirrors right here, chrome interior door handles, nice soft touch armrest. And let's go ahead and rev it up. Very nice. Definitely has some decent grunt to it. Pretty impressed. And it's not even a V8. Now, as far as build quality and materials go in the Pilot here, it's very much improved over the last generation Pilot. I don't think I would necessarily call it the best in the class in terms of build quality and materials, but it's certainly on par with the rest of the class. You have nice soft touch materials up here on the upper door panel. Mid door panel is decently soft touch, and the armrest is nice and squishy too. Up here on the dashboard, it's decently soft touch. You have this molded stitching that goes throughout the whole entire dashboard. Build quality is okay for the most part. Some of the interior trim and pieces don't really fit all that well together. However, it's much better than the last generation Pilot. Overall, build quality and materials are certainly average for the class, and it's okay. It's pretty good. Now, coming to your steering wheel design here, it's fairly stylish overall, and this is the steering wheel that you will find on many other new Hondas nowadays. Now, it's definitely not the most stylish steering wheel design I've seen, but it gets the job done. It has a whole lot of buttons on it too. Now, coming over here, we have your steering wheel mounted audio controls. And then right here, we have your Bluetooth phone controls as well as your voice recognition. Coming right here, these set of buttons control your little information display, which I'll get to a little later in the video. And then right here, we also do have your cruise control. Now, there's many optional safety technologies that weren't available on the last generation Pilot. You can get forward collision warning, as well as lane departure alert and adaptive cruise control. There's many optional safety technologies now on the new Pilot. We also do have intermittent windshield wipers as well. Coming right here, we have a little storage cubby, a power outlet, 12 volts, and 2 USB charging ports. We also do have a little storage pocket right there. And in the Pilot, there is a sense of roominess inside of this vehicle. This vehicle is very roomy inside of here. I love how roomy it feels. And then there's also many nooks and crannies to store your stuff in here, like this little storage pocket, as well as right here too. Pretty nifty. And then of course you have this little side door pocket. And then when you open this lid up, this reveals a huge center console. And then you also do have this sliding little tray right here, which is pretty cool. You can also take this out if you would like, of course. We also do have a 12-volt power outlet right there and another USB charging port, and that's where you will find your auxiliary input too. Up there we also do have a manually dimming rearview mirror, sunglass container with a nice little conversation mirror, garage home link, and then your interior illumination lighting. And then we also do have these little armrests for the front passenger seats, which is very minivan-like. A lot of SUVs are doing this nowadays. And then coming to your climate controls, I love that Honda kept the climate controls separate from the touchscreen, and it's not a part of the touchscreen at all, which is pretty nice. And we have dual zone automatic climate control here. Your temperatures are right here, and then your different zones. Very easy to figure out. And then to turn the rear AC on or off, you have to press this right here. Then you have your recycling front window defroster and rear window defroster. Very simple, easy to use, very clearly labeled as well. Now let's get to the main infotainment system and multimedia interface here. This is Honda's 8-inch touchscreen, and it's much better than the dual screen design that you will find in many other new Hondas. And basically this is your home screen right here, and it pretty much reveals everything. And the only gripe I do have about this system really is the volume button, and it's very sensitive, and it doesn't work all that well. And I just wish they put a regular knob or button instead of a touch sensitive one. All of these buttons on the side right here are touch sensitive, by the way. We also do have a day and night mode. You could change the brightness just by clicking on this right here. Pretty cool. And then coming to your phone, basically you can hook up your phone, have your call history stored on there, as well as your speed dial, have all your contacts as well. Coming to info, you can view much information such as the trip computer, voice info, clock, and the wallpaper system, device, and information too. Love how they have this back button right here. Coming to your audio, your different audio sources include all of the normal stuff, AM, FM, as well as satellite radio is an option, and then we do have your USB port with the iPod integration, and then your auxiliary input too. And then to change the different source, you have to click on source right there. Then you have your audio apps too, Pandora, internet radio as well. Coming back to the home screen, we have your Honda Link, which you can access various apps through your smartphone, data connection. And then your AHA internet radio, pretty cool there. And then your settings for the screen itself, or the vehicle, camera settings, all of that good stuff, like the lane watch. By the way, to activate the lane watch system, you will also find this on many other new Hondas. You click on this button right here, you can activate it like that. Or what you could do is signal to the right, and it automatically comes up. It certainly works very well, and I love it much better than a regular blind spot detection system. And then there's also the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi settings that you could change, audio, phone, all of that good stuff. So overall, this touchscreen is decently user-friendly, and it's much better than the dual screen design, and it works fairly well overall. And then we also do have your digital clock that displays up there at all times. Now coming to the gauges in the instrument cluster here, you have your RPM gauge right there, and then your fuel gauge down there, and then your digital speedometer, which is pretty cool. And then we have your information display. Like I said, it's controlled by these buttons on the steering wheel right here. We have your tire pressure monitoring system. Shows you much vehicle information, and then you have your trip odometer down there, what gear you're in, and your exterior temperature readout. Also shows you your average fuel economy for the trips, fuel range, all of that good stuff. Oil life percentage. Overall, it's pretty basic information. However, the way it presents it is pretty nice. Now, as far as driving dynamics go of the new Pilot here, what Honda really wanted to do with this generation Pilot is make it feel more like a car rather than an SUV. And in that regard, they really did succeed. And they made it feel much more nimble around corners, as well as around tight parking spaces too. And it feels much more like a car. The ride is also very comfortable, very supple too, and it doesn't feel as big or bulky as the last generation Pilot was. I also do love how these pillars right here, the A pillars, are very thin, something that you won't find on a lot of vehicles nowadays, especially crossovers. I also do love how they put this little window right here too. It makes it look very minivan-like inside of here, to be honest. When you get to the rear windows, it's pretty compromised back there due to that small rear window back there. However, it's not as good as the last generation Pilot. Now, power from the 3.5 liter V6, like I said, it provides a decent amount of power. The 6-speed automatic transmission provides minimal fuss, and I'm glad they didn't go with a CVT here. And while it's not the most macho powertrain in the class or the sportiest feeling, it certainly gets the job done here, and that's the most important thing. Overall, driving dynamics for the new Pilot are much improved. Now, as far as seating comfort goes, the seats themselves are fairly comfortable overall. However, I would certainly opt for the leather seats because these are a little firm. They might be a little firm for some people, and they kind of feel cheap, to be honest. Now, what's pretty interesting is that we do have a snow mode, and that's for your intelligent traction management system. We do have a normal mode and a snow mode. We also do have your econ mode for saving fuel. That changes the throttle response just a little bit, not too much, however. Alright, now let's go ahead and shut it down. Let's go ahead and check out the rest of the vehicle. Build quality and materials somewhat follow through in the rear. The upper door panel is hard touch, but the armrest and mid door panel remain soft touch. We also do have chrome interior door handles back here. And then on higher end trim levels, you do have a little button on the side right here that you push and the seats come right forward. That's a very nifty feature, to be honest. And that feature you will also find on the Acura MDX too. Now, access into the second row is excellent, and the doors open pretty wide too. And you will find that there is a lot of room back here, much more than the last generation Pilot. We also do have rear air vents, rear climate controls, dual mat pockets, and rear cup holders with the center armrest. The seats themselves are also decently comfortable too. However, I would probably opt for the leather seats because these seats are a little firm for my taste, and they do kind of look cheap, to be honest. And you do have cup holders right here, and a little storage cubby right there too. Now, some pretty nice optional features that you can get on the Pilot for the second row seats is heated seats for the second row, as well as captain's chairs too, and then a rear seat entertainment system, of course. Now, these second row seats also do recline, and to get into the third row, you have to pull this down right here and slide it forward. Now, like I said, on higher end trim levels, they just have a button that you push, and then it comes right forward. But you have to do it like this manually. And then access into the third row is a little bit tight, and it's certainly only recommended for small children, but you do have cup holders back there too. To be honest, I'm not going to get back there because I probably couldn't fit. Now, back here, there is a decent amount of cargo space, but certainly not the best in the class. But we do have a 12-volt power outlet right here, some side storage pockets, full manual passenger seat with manual recline. The glove box compartment, I'm actually very surprised that it just slams right down like this. You don't see too many vehicles nowadays doing that. So the 2016 Honda Pilot is an excellent choice for a three-row crossover and is now more in line with its competitors thanks to its updated technology, its very functional and roomy interior, decently stylish exterior design, and its very well-rounded driving dynamics with a pretty fuel-efficient and powerful powertrain. So remember that this is Cameron Birch from Cameron's Car Reviews.